But yeah, it's been years since the demo for this. If memory serves correct. I want to say it was after the pandemic, but definitely wasn't last year. Prologue.
Office of the Medical Examiner, Beatsville. Dr. Jack Hampton is speaking. How can I help you?
Good evening, this is Kate Brooks. I'm not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it painfully obvious for the last time. No! Please don't call me again and stop inquiring about my wife.
Angie.
Damn journalists. They don't let me work. God damn it. I'm not in the best frame of mind to record a lecture for my students now. I'm feeling completely broken. Where did I leave my meds this time?
Self-therapy. Check the bathroom for your pills. All the things to click. Holy moly. Well, it's... Surely the pills are here. Not in the bathroom.
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. Awful. It would be good.
Oh, that's nice. So if I click it again, you can press spacebar to skip forward. Skip the dialogue. Flush the toilets, I forget.
Stephen didn't clean up after himself.
Who's Stephen?
Again. Stephen? They definitely pay me too little for this. They definitely pay me too little for this.
Achievement unlocked. Newshound. Read the journalist's note. So we got R to read. Mouse 1 to rotate. Mouse 2 to go back. R. Hi, this is Kate Brooks, a reporter for the New Orleans Weekly. I couldn't find you at home. I'm starting to suspect you are avoiding me, Mr. Handman. I probably didn't say that right. Anyway, as you know, we'd like to write an article commemorating your wife's achievements. We will be delighted to talk to you about it. Along with this note, I am also leaving my business card. Let me call you this evening. Hope to find you at home or at the office. Regards, K. Brooks.
It won't be needed for the next few months.
I take it winter is coming? Can we crouch or anything? Nope.
Not very comfortable, but suitable for night shifts.
I actually don't mind seeing all these interactive spots. I don't think there's an option in the menus for it, but there's a moth in here. Mothman. Another person gone missing.
Another kidnapping this month.
Sus. What do we got here? Tequila, vodka. Looks like the common Unity asset beer can I think we used to see back in Phasmo, along with that beer bottle. This is a Unity engine game.
Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern.
Well, we can see... Is the proper term apron or smock? I was going to make the title of my stream. I'm wearing nothing underneath my apron. To dissect bodies.
I guess it was in another life.
Rotate back.
Wednesday. It's not my favorite day, although it's certainly better than Monday.
I like that. Just one simple click to open the door. No BS. Bathroom. What if we snoop elsewhere first? Storage.
This place is starting to look like a hoarder's dream, rather than a storage room. I don't see any need to mess with the electrics. They are flaky enough as it is. Pills first, Jack. Pills. Pills first, Jack. Pills.
Jack Bauer.
Let's hope I'm not caught short this evening. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow.
Laboratory. We just walk into the door to open that one. Oh, we know where that goes. So just bathroom.
Only useful when I need to clear leaves from the gutters.
Maybe I will go back first. Hey, Nightmare. What's up? Good evening. Happy hump day. You know what? I'm going to go here first. Hopefully I don't break anything. Snoop everything except the main objective. Or not. I feel like we should have dialogue on those, so let's go back. Bathroom it is.
Only useful when I need to clear leaves from the gutter, but why in the back?
Let's see. No toilet flush, Witchy. At least not in that toilet. Toilet 2. No luck. What's going on here? Don't soft lock myself in there. Journals.
Okay. Time to pull myself together.
2 red pills. Is this the Matrix?
And get back to work. I've already taken my pills. Not looking to overdose. I need to set up the camera first.
Prepare to record a lecture. Take the camera from the storage room. There it is.
Now remember, Jack. Don't forget, hit the record button this time.
Classic. Place it on the tripod in dissecting room. Dissecting room. Walk in. Tripod.
The tripod is going to hold up.
There's the tripod.
Now, I just have to get everything in frame.
Frame the cadaver and begin recording. Look for ghosts.
This should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. This autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the autopsy room. Today, you will have the dubious pleasure of following a full autopsy, step by step. For those of you who have already performed your first autopsy, this will refresh your basic knowledge. In turn, for those whose knowledge is only theoretical, I advise not to watch this after a meal.
Objective, take a look at the chalkboard. Are you the chalkboard or are you the chalkboard? Why not double chalkboards? Toby Chambers. I assume this is the chalkboard in question.
Let's start.
There we go. Tell students what is important in this profession.
Always wear an apron, mask, and gloves.
It is an apron,
Goggles are a must when the job is splashy. And in case of sharp accidents, it's worth having disinfectants at hand. It's true that you won't get ptomaine poisoning straight away, but if your liver or kidney aren't doing well, you may end up with diarrhea.
Jitters. Okay, so it is an apron, and he said nothing about having to wear anything underneath that apron. You just be buck-ass naked.
The cadaver is placed on its back on the autopsy table. The pathologist stands on the right of the deceased. Make sure that all the necessary tools are always at hand so that you don't have to run around looking for something, like I do all the time.
So 1 apron, mask, goggles, gloves, disinfection. Mr. Boom, ahoy. 2, right side, autopsy table, Tool wheel at hand. Noted. Rat noted. It's too hot for anything else anyways. Here's a fun little fact of the day. Spoiled at work. The building I work in, as of Monday, has had no air conditioning because they're replacing the unit on the roof. And it's hot. And I'm not happy. I mean, nobody's happy, but... Wow, well, that's much hotter than me, which, holy crap. I wouldn't be able to work in those temps with no air. I mean, I could. That would be so miserable. 07. 3.
In the process of revealing and securing forensic evidence, it is difficult not to interfere with the original condition of the deceased. Written and photographic documentation plays a vital role throughout the entire examination process.
Yeah, true. Not even officially yet. 3. Photos, clipboard. 4. Microscope, X-ray, probes, pipette.
During your research, be patient, inquisitive, but above all, attentive to detail. Many injuries are visible at first glance, but sometimes they can be cover for more interesting stories. And lastly, remember that nothing teaches you self-narration like working with the dead. So get used to that fact soon. Everyone will think you're talking to yourself.
Noted. Alrighty.
Now, onto the police folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent information as to who the deceased might be and what potentially happened to them. So, let's take a closer look, shall we?
Look through the information provided in the police folder.
The deceased's name is Tobias Chambers, locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple of years.
I feel like that ended abruptly.
The deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station, where he often begged and persistently offered drivers to wash their car windows.
Appreciate the fact so far that everything has been voice acted. Well, except for that one note, but the majority thus far.
The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that someone had thrown some boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize the pile of clothes as the body of a man. He worked most of his life at the local port dealing with unloaded cargo. He was fired for being drunk and starting fights. His son runs a hardware store on his own. His wife left him years ago. They both had no contact with the deceased.
Noted. Everybody noting this?
Signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket. That's it.
That's it. There were more pages. Oh, when it said, I saw the option for Q&D, it just meant to go that way. Okay. I thought it meant like go through other pages and maybe later. But I'm fine with
It's
that.
worth remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body. I shouldn't start the procedure without gloves.
Find some protective gloves to wear. No glove, no love. Actually, we are saying nothing about that. So. Tunes? Any radio? Soon though that bubble is showing up and I'm pressing M1, nothing is happening. At least not yet.
A considerable collection.
Notice, proper personal protective equipment required in this area. Authorized personnel only. First aid.
It's been a while since the eye wash in this thing was changed.
My
It's
wash.
probably a health hazard now. Now it's our turn to take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera. It's in here somewhere.
Pick up the photo camera from the desk drawer.
Aha! There you are. I knew it was here somewhere.
One Polaroid.
As I mentioned at the beginning, before we begin the internal examination, we need to document the cadaver and the condition it arrived in. We begin with a full body photo. Try and stick to the top-down rule, but this is not always possible. Let's keep in mind it's all about the legibility, not the perfect frame.
So we have F to equip camera, and we need to take a general photo of the deceased. F. Mouse 1 to take. Scroll wheel to zoom in and out. WASD to move.
Voila. Now we move on to the next step. Looking for traces. Take your
General
time.
photo.
Look at the corpse
Caca.
from different sides, from different angles, up close, and from a distance. You're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
A quickly developed photo. Find marks on the body to photograph.
The boiler-healed wound. Looks old. I'll take a closer look later.
Photo 1 of 4. Hey, Rachel, I was thinking about you. Glad to hear that. Good to see you again. So it seems like, at least right now, that the, what would you call this? I don't know. I guess we could call it a crosshair. Seems like it should light up when we're able to take a photo. Maybe. Light up white. Whole white. Old. And hands.
Some wounds in the feet and signs of frostbite. Probably because the subject's shoes were too small.
Small shoes, noted.
Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and frostbite?
This does seem vaguely familiar to me. Since the, I think this was all in the demo years ago, but I can't recall. It's been a while. Been a while. Hands.
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury was severe enough to cause damage to the brain.
Noted.
In a moment, we will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration. But before we get to that, I need to write down some basic data.
Overlord Null and Raiders, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Just getting started here with getting our hands dirty. An Autopsy Simulator. Pin photos to the photo board. Hope you had a good stream. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, feet, stomach, old wound, general photo, hand, perform the autopsy. Grub time, enjoy. So we need to perform, not the exorcism, but the autopsy. What do we need?
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife.
Noted.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
How dare you? The dead will remember that.
Personal information. The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down on previously prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may back up your conclusions. So, enough of the boring prep. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the spots I photographed earlier. For this, you're going to need a magnifying glass.
Tab, tools, shift, clipboard, WASD movement, zoom, action, exit. So, tab for tools?
Which spot first? It looks like a burn mark. No doubt painful, but it's not.
Hey, King Kronos, thank you for the lurk. Much appreciated. Good to see you once again. Inspect the areas of concern with the magnifying glass.
Here we can see frostbite on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color. I can confirm the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol.
What a
I
perfect time to use that
completely
emote,
smell.
Mr.
And this was an accident just waiting to happen.
And the feet, the toes.
Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters. Old Toby had been wearing shoes too small for him for a very long time. That's if he wore any at all.
Cue the ship horn sound effect from SpongeBob.
So far, there are a lot
Air
of
horn.
superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes.
Noted. All right. Back. Okay, so tab pulls this up. Shift for
First,
clipboard.
I mark the location of the injuries and make notes for each one. So,
Highlight the previously found wounds on the clipboard mannequin. 4 spots.
even though this type of wound didn't contribute to the deceased's death, we're still required to record it.
Noted.
The head wound. Definitely an important clue. This is something we'll investigate first.
Old, poorly healed wound. Burn or other injury. Is this ecchymosis? Intravital nature of the wound.
We're not in frost season yet, but high humidity, wind, and the inability to warm up can also be causes of frostbite.
A pee and beat on the screen. So the thought process here, Nightmare, is how much peen have we seen in the Outlast trials? At least when I play that, I was
If
thinking to
Toby's
myself.
body was cold for a prolonged period, the frostbite could have resulted from the body's defense reaction. The safety of the internal organs is more important than fingers, nose, or ears. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of.
Frostbite and wounds caused by wearing too small shoes. Possible death causes. Highlight and consider each wound from the marks and wound section.
Various types of accidents are a common cause of death among the homeless and the elderly. Perhaps old Toby slipped and accidentally hit his head. This is of no interest to us. Considering the conditions in which he slept,
Educational
his body
and
may
game
have become
related. Noted.
hypothermic.
And scary.
The nights have been particularly nasty.
I'd be more
lately.
concerned about
We will
showing
check
those
if
feet
there are
on the
any
stream.
signs of freezing internally. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list.
Noted. Possible death causes. Fall, freeze, alcohol. Alcohol. Put down the clipboard and continue the autopsy. Shift.
We still have one thing left from the basics. Rigor mortis.
Perform the rigor mortis
Well,
examination.
we take our deceased by the hand. Gradually we raise it.
What? Oh, I see. Raising the mouse. How far did we go with this? Oh, it's gradually. Wait. Learning. It says action. So you can't go too fast. Got it. Huh. Why are we freaking out? I'm confused. I can't tell which part I'm actually... Okay, it's the bar. I got to keep it in the bar. So I think when I click... Gotta click and hold.
Now let it go. As you can see,
Oh, I see.
the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion?
Noted.
Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct.
Next.
Head trauma seems the most promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw.
Select the skull saw and open the cranium.
The cut is made from ear to ear.
You're too fast. Huh? Confused. I just see M1. Do we tap? Do we hold? And how does this work? It's obviously wrong. It doesn't. No tutorial here. I don't know why it's going on its own there. Do we just keep it in the middle? Keep it in the middle?
After which, we remove the skin and the top of the skull.
Begin a thorough brain analysis by examining the organ. Excuse
After
me.
the basic examination, you
Imagine.
can see that
Where's
the
our-
brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks good. Let's take a cross-section.
Leave the body. Rotate. Back. Action. Clipboard.
Some pathologists
That's good.
prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now.
Leave the body. Dissect the brain at the cutting board. Freaking out, man. You turned off motion blur. We got motion blur.
Pills. I need my pills.
We're not addicted, surely. How much time in game has passed? Pills.
Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us.
Dissect the brain at the cutting board.
So far, so good.
Who wants Jello?
Thomas seems to have had no effect on
Funny,
the
there's no
brain.
sound effects there. Return to the autopsy. So that was just a matter of moving the mouse, kind of like actually playing the game Operation Don't Touch the Sides.
We can rule the fatal accident out as well.
Got a sandwich, Mr. Boom. Marks and wounds. 1. The cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetrical with clear grooves. Exclude fall as potential cause of death.
Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs. I grab a scalpel from my kit.
And begin cutting.
The
Scalpel.
incision should be in the shape of a letter Y. We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall. All right, now we peel back and separate the skin.
Hey there, Power. Power Play Plus. Hello, hello. These new Jackbox minigames are wild. With an empty hand, peel back the skin flaps. How do I empty my hands? Do I just click it again? No. Mouse 2? We're just bare-handing this, huh? Like opening a Christmas
We
present.
need to remove the ribs.
Achievement
We'll
unlocked.
get a
Jack the
look for
Ripper.
this.
Cut open the first body. I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I'm happy I'm home from work and in air conditioning now. to be honest, not that it's like that hot, but I run pretty hot. Select the loppers and remove the ribs. The lopper. What the lopper do? Easy.
Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we
Another dance for the night to go.
two things. Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs. This means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly,
Like
the
a power play?
deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we
Smokers.
should take a closer look at those lungs.
Begin a thorough long analysis by examining the organ.
We can see widespread black and tarry deposits caused by smoking cigarettes.
Some dark lungs.
Despite
We're learning
the
about back
tragic
in school.
condition of the lungs,
What was that?
they are not the cause of death. Alice smoked too.
Oh, no worries, Dancer. Hello.
Kill her, but what was I talking about? Lungs. Yes. Advanced inflammation.
Mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard. I thought I saw something to click on the lung here a moment ago. Maybe I accidentally clicked it. Mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard. Here's the image of the lungs I'm wanting. We got rotate, back, action, clipboard. Oh, I didn't realize we can bounce through the tabs until right now. Weird. Thank you, Power Play. What am I supposed to click on? If we... Well, now I've done it. I M2'd. I M2'd too hard. Rotate, back, action, clipboard. Uh-oh. No, I can't get out. GG. Oh, you can slide. That's what this is for, to slide this. I see. However... Shift won't let me anywhere. Tab won't do anything. Mouse 1, mouse 2. Thoughts? I assume we want to be here on the lungs page. I'm clicking on the lungs, clicking on mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard. Did I break something? Leave it to me. Brain, main. Lungs. I'd assume it would be just a matter of clicking here. The fact that it now says rotate and I put the lung away doesn't give me hope. So I'm thinking of restarting it. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Let's go main menu. Or sure you want to leave and go to the main menu and say progress will be lost. Yes, take me out of here. I feel like it might be a soft lock. I feel like I did something wrong. Just continue, I guess. Prologue. Oh boy. I didn't click continue. There's a load option. I mean, it's not like we did a whole lot.
The medical examiner, Pete's.
Oh boy.
Dr. Jack Hanman is speaking. How can I help you?
Good evening. This
Oh
is
my
Kate
God.
Brooks.
Are we all the way back to the
I'm
beginning?
not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to
Escape?
discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it
I'm
painfully
surprised.
obvious for the last time. No, please don't call me again and stop inquiring about
I didn't
my
actually
wife.
see if there was a way to save or anything.
Damn journalists. They don't let me work.
Why do I feel like something like this happened to me in the demo too?
Damn it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not in the best
having
frame
a
of
case
mind to
sense
record
of
a lecture
deja
for my
vu.
Students now. I'm feeling completely broken.
Speedrun.
Where did I leave my meds this time?
Pills.
Okay, time to pull myself together.
Yeah, I thought there would have been a checkpoint somewhere.
I need to set the camera first. This place is starting. Now remember, Jack, don't forget, hit the record button this time.
I forget, we can't see what types of pills these are, can we? There's no way to... At least at this time, I'm wondering, what pills are we taking here?
Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up. Now, I just have to get everything in frame. This should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. This autopsy is conducted by... Let's start. Always wear an
I don't know if I
apron,
can skip
mask,
or
and
not.
gloves. The cadaver is placed on its back in the process of... During your research, be patient. Many entries are in the process of... Always wear the cadaver during your research.
How's that?
Be patient, inquisitive, but above
I
all,
have no interest power play.
attentive to
Thank you.
detail. Many entries are visible at first glance, but sometimes they can be cover for more interesting stories. Now, onto the police folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent... The
So now it
deceased's
says
name is
EQ to
Tobias
change
Chambers.
page.
The deceased
Speeding
was...
through.
The body was
Speeding.
noticed. He worked most of his... Signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attack. That's it. It's worth remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better...
Find some protective
interpret
gloves
any
to wear.
traces found on the body. I shouldn't...
Hopefully I don't break anything now by trying to go too quick.
Take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera. Let's see. Aha! There you are. I knew it was here somewhere. As I mentioned at the beginning, before we begin the internal examination, we need to document the cadaver and the condition it arrived in. Voila! Now we move on to the next step, looking for traces. Take your time.
Find those marks.
Look at the corpse from different sides, from different angles.
Okay, so when it blinks,
Poorly healed wound. Looks old.
you know you have to zoom in more.
Some wounds in the feet and signs of frostbite, probably because the subject's shoes were too small. Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and frostbite? That's something interesting. It will be necessary in a moment. We will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration. But
I think
before
these
we
just
get to
go in the
that,
same spot.
I need to write down some basic data. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Personal information.
What are we doing?
The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down.
I feel like I'm going too
previously
quick.
Prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may back up your conclusions. So, enough of the boring prep. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the spots I photographed earlier. For this, you're going to need a magnifying glass. Which spot first? It looks like a burn mark. No doubt painful, but it's not pertinent for this case.
Uno.
I can confirm
Close.
the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol, which I can clearly smell, and this was an accident just waiting to happen. Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters. Old Toby had been wearing shoes too small for him for a very long time. That's if he wore any at all. Here we can see frostbite on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color. So far, there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes. First, I marked the location of the injuries, and even though the head wound were not in frost season yet, but high humidity, wind, and if Toby's body was cold for a prolonged period, the frostbite could have resulted from the body's defense reaction. The safety of the internal organs is more important than fingers, nose, or ears. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of. The nights have been considering this is of no interest to us. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list. We still have one thing left from the basics. Rigor mortis. Well,
Here we go
take the
again.
deceased by the hand, gradually re-raise it. Now let it go. As you can
Oop.
see, the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct. Head trauma seems the most promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw.
Tab. We got saw.
The
Seesaw.
cut is made from ear to ear.
Okay, so yeah, for this mini game, it's just tapping / holding M1 to keep it in the middle, I guess. Moving the saw on its own. Put it in the middle area.
After which,
There we go.
we'll remove the skin and the top of the skull.
One brain.
After the basic examination, we can see that the brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks good. Let's take a cross-section. Some pathologists prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now. Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us.
We didn't freak out about the pills yet. It must be a timed thing, perhaps?
So
Didn't we
far,
freak
so
out about the
good.
pills before? Like 10 minutes ago?
Hematoma seems to have had no effect on the brain. We can rule the fatal accident out as well. Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs. I grab a scalpel from my kit. The incision should be in the shape of a letter Y.
Let's go
We
faster.
use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall.
Did we not go deep enough? Wrong thing. Scalpel.
All right.
I missed
now
a
we
spot.
Go back and separate the skin. Now we need to remove the ribs. We'll need the loppers for this. Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we instantly notice two things. Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs. This means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly, the deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we should take a closer look at those lungs.
Here we go again.
We can
Clicking
see
along.
widespread black and tarry deposits caused by smoking cigarettes. Despite the tragic
Oh,
condition
so
of the
it is
lungs,
just happened
they are
automatically
not the
by
cause
looking
of
at it?
death. Alice smoked too. It didn't kill her, but what was I talking about? Lungs. Yes. Advanced inflammation.
So we are back. Mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard. You're right. Who the hell reacts that way? Marks and wounds. It must be a me thing then. Mark the damage to the lung on the clipboard, chat. How do we do this? What am I? Marks and wounds. I assume we'll be here. Mouse 1 to rotate the lung. Mouse 2 to back. Left mouse to action. Shift to clipboard. I haven't tried clicking back yet, nor shift for clipboard. I'm afraid to do anything. I don't get it. I mean, right here for the brain, it marked it there, so I assume it's supposed to happen here? Just on its own, or? Believe you me, I am clicking M1 here, and nothing is changing. Huh. Is it a me thing? Do we know? Weird that it would happen twice. Here's M2. I don't know. I think something is broken for me, perhaps? Something does not seem right. Weird because we restarted, no? Wonder if I can delete save data or something. I'd be curious if this happened to any other streamers or creators today. I didn't watch any streams. I don't want to ruin anything, but I'd be curious to know. Something flash red, eh? I don't know if I should have clicked M2 to close the lung out. That's a problem. You can click and hold M1, spam M1, M2, shift. I don't get it. Brain main. I don't know. If somebody knows, let me know, please, because I'm obviously not progressing for something that should be simple. Oh, is that what you guys saw? Holy cow. For some reason, I didn't see that light up. Rip. Oh, thank you. I did not see that. Now what? Okay, so that was my bad. Apologies.
The syringe. Now's a good time to...
Thought I moused over that already. Syringe. Good to know.
Specifically 3. From the eye, the heart, and the bladder. I'm interested to see the concentration of alcohol in the body. Vitreous humor analysis is very useful in indicating long-term alcohol abuse.
Eye.
5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it.
Thank you, Nightmare. Thank you, Witchy. Thank you. And the bladder.
We draw about 10 milliliters of fluid.
Are we just using the
Now
same
we take
syringe
our
for everything?
samples to the centrifuge. But before I do that, I need to find my notebook. My dyscalculia means that I always double-check the settings. Please excuse me while I run and fetch it.
Retrieve the notebook from the office with the necessary values to run centrifuge. Notebook.
This whole thing is covered in stains. I should check this out under the microscope sometime.
Perform the toxicological test. The presence of alcohol. Use the centrifuge. Centrifuge.
Let's get back to the examination. Put all of the samples into the rotor.
One. Actually, I think this is maybe this seems familiar, like in the demo where things got messed up for me years ago.
We set the appropriate time and speed.
Set the correct values on both dials and start mixing. Let's see. N for notes. Presence of alcohol in the blood, time 15 minutes, speed 70%. Pipette 5 milliliters. Gloves. Numbers. Okay, do R. There you go. Time was 15, I want to say. 15 minutes. Speed was 70.
Okay, let's roll.
Let's rock and roll.
Oh, shit. The fuses again. Where were we? Oh, yes. The blood alcohol concentration. Let's see what we've got here. Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that Toby's favorite eau de parfum appears to be ethanol, I'm guessing the results won't surprise me at all.
Collect the samples from the centrifuge rotor.
Let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart.
Return to the autopsy.
We remove the organ and examine it closely.
Begin a thorough heart analysis by examining the
Look
organ.
for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that stand out as abnormal. At first glance, the heart looks fine. The pulmonary trunk and aorta seem to be in good condition. There are no pathological changes that would have contributed to Toby's death.
Healthy.
Now let's take a closer look at the stomach. Size is normal, healthy, and as expected, the stomach has no major external damage. We must now cut it open and inspect inside.
Saw 4? Saw 5?
We will do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out.
To the cutting board we must go.
We open the stomach along the greater curvature, from the heart to the pyloric end.
I'm touching the sides.
I already feel like there's something left inside.
This is where I can definitely benefit from more real estate space on the desk. What I have now. So I'm moving the mouse to move that little dot through the maze.
Okay, large amount of gas, small amounts of yellow, grayish food content, resembling some kind of meat. Either our deceased hadn't eaten in days, or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like I'll have to find the missing contents. There are two ways here. One is obvious, and the other is... It couldn't have been suffocation, could it? I'll add this to the list and move on to the deceased's neck.
My neck, my back. Trachea exam.
At first glance, the trachea looks normal. Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection doesn't tell us anything. This time we'll cut on a tray.
Aye, aye, Captain.
While cutting such a small organ as the trachea, we must make a precise incision. To be able to cut with the very tip of the blade, we must hold the scalpel as we would a pen.
Cut with mouse 1.
And after careful examination and deduction, we've got it. A clogged trachea. It's time to summarize the whole thing.
Return to the autopsy.
Based on the report and preliminary documentation, it's safe to assume that the deceased passed out after consumption of alcohol and then fell asleep on his back. Then, the gastric contents refluxed and flooded the airways, causing death.
Note the main cause of death.
That's why we don't forget about the recovery position at dorm parties.
Asphyxiation, choking. The deceased probably fell asleep or fainted after drinking a large amount of alcohol. Its concentration suppressed signals in the brain that control the gag reflex, leading to choking. Decide the appropriate manner of death. Oh. Accident, natural, suicide, unknown, homicide. You have a choice to make. Surely an accident.
And now it's all clear.
Surely.
The death was suffocation. Now, signature.
Write your signature at the bottom of the form.
The mystery is solved. But for us, this is not the end. First, the dead body needs to be cleaned up. For this, we will need to close the body and grab the needle. First, we unroll the skin flaps.
Good as new.
And then, we sew the deceased back up.
We need... What do we need? Needle.
I'm using the baseball stitch technique. This stitching method is very strong and quick to do.
Select the needle and stitch up the corpse. This is quick.
Beautiful.
Leave the body.
Now we say goodbye to the deceased
Heck
and put
bye.
them safely in the fridge, ready for the next stage of their journey.
Place the body into the fridge and close it. M1. Speedrun.
God, I'm tired.
Frozen
I'll drop
meat.
these
Place a
samples
body in the
off at
fridge.
lab on the way to the bar.
What's this say? Out of order. Head to your car in the parking lot. Another job well done. No thanks to me.
I'll call Steven. I don't feel like drinking alone today.
Achievement unlocked. Tobias Chamber. Complete the prologue. Which is where the demo ended, I believe. Skelly Gang. To be or not to be? I'm sure this is just a normal occurrence for us. Loading. Chapter number 1. I saw a save in the top right that time. A disc icon.
Forgive me.
Sort your head out. Take your pills in the bathroom.
What? Christ. What a dream. Ah, fuck.
What a dump.
So much light everywhere.
Paris, oui. Let's check out the old homestead.
An int indispensable element of every office. I should really try and read a few of these. Time flies, and probably doesn't have to get up to work. I really need to get this laundry done.
That's a lot of things to click on. What the heck are we looking at?
It's always good to have something for a rainy day.
Damn. Those all hundreds?
It's always good to have some. I wasn't able to support her through this.
September 21st, 1986. Pregnancy test.
Till death do us part. It was a miracle that the coffee didn't wash off the writing. And that she said yes.
Will you marry me?
She got it for her first day of work, and she broke it the same day. She said it was for luck.
No comments on the earrings? I assume earrings. I don't know what this other dot is. That's the money.
It's always good to have something for a rainy day.
I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, that's what that one is. Summer 1975.
These were from Thanksgiving. Stephen invited me. I was going to give them to his mother, but then I met Alice. That was the
Kinky.
first time I saw her.
I think we explored all the items.
Till death do us part.
All the mementos. Little cutscene. What do we think? Dead? Divorced? Separated?
It's been
Divorced and dead?
year.
I think I clicked all the things that I can for now. World equals scary.
Menu for today. Dinner in town.
A bite to eat?
takeaway
Check out
coffee.
what's in the fridge. Achievement unlocked.
The remnants of last night's binge with Stephen. I'm not sure if it's still edible. I'm not in the mood for music lately.
Achievement unlocked. Painful memories. Examine at least 5 Alice-related items. Okay. Did we know the name was Alice, or did we just learn that from the achievement?
I'm not in the mood for music. They certainly have more will to live than I do.
All of the mementos.
I still feel uneasy. At this time, Alice would probably be sitting here reading a book.
Oh, is that when he said did she smoke like a chimney? Can't click R on this one. Happy birthday, March 20th, 1988. On the downside, you're getting old. On the plus side, unlike me, you won't start going bald. Happy birthday, my dear sis, Stephen. Bulge. Oh, I missed the store. I was gonna say, our bathroom isn't out there, is it?
A Pill a day keeps the defective Jack away.
What's going on here?
I think I'll take a piss at work. At least their toilets will have been cleaned. Nah, I'll shower later.
Stinky.
It's just too dirty to use.
Is that the mirror?
It's just too dirty to use.
Should I have snooped around outside first?
It's a
Possibly.
shame this won't help with my hangover.
Get a wriggle on. Answer the
Fucking
phone.
Okay. I know I'm late.
Hello?
I'll be there soon. It's not like the dead are impatient.
Jack, no.
Dallas.
Alice? Who is this?
It's Charlotte Graves.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. I thought it was work calling.
It's okay. I hate it when work calls me at home, too. How is everything? We haven't talked since... you know.
Well, there are good days, and there are bad days. What can I say? At least I can hide away at work.
Well, you always were the most comfortable in the dissecting room. Listen, I have an unusual request.
Okay, how can I help?
It's nothing serious. I just wanted to ask. Do you have any pictures of Alice? Maybe one where the two of us are together? I'd love to have something to remind me of her.
I guess. I'm not sure. I'll look through her things.
Thank you. I'm sorry to trouble you with this. All this can't be easy for you.
I'll get through it somehow. I've been meaning to sort through her stuff for a while. Have you asked Stephen if he has anything?
Yes, I spoke with him this morning. He said he gave everything to their mother and that I should ask you.
I see.
Jack, I know you're trying. That you cope somehow. Stephen's there for you. Although, well, we all know how he can be. But, I mean, if you wanted to reminisce about Alice, talk.
I really should go now. I overslept, I'm late for work, and I still have some errands to run on the way.
Oh. Okay, sure. Sorry to keep you.
I'll look for something and send it over. Thanks for the call, and bye.
Oh, do you have my address?
Not on hand. You'd best remind me again.
292 Browning Lane, apartment 432, Johnson City, New York, 13790.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me. Just miss her so much.
Yeah, me too. And that's okay. Really, no problem.
Thank you. Take care, Jack.
You too, Charlotte. It was nice to hear you.
For some reason, I actually expected our character to freak out in the request of a photo to her.
That was a bit unexpected. I should probably find something to send.
Find a photo of Alice and an envelope to send to Charlotte. Alright, I'm too curious, chat. I'm too nosy. Even though we'll probably be forced to come out here sooner than later. Lighter? Zippo?
Alice used to joke that smoking near plants made cigarettes less harmful. Oh, shit. Almost left the door open.
Ooh la la. I guess we'll go back and do the objective. Well, we can't go up here anyways. Sealed shut. That Thing. The movie based on Brody Robertson bestseller. That thing do. Welcome home.
I don't think it's going to rain.
We got the same poster in our apartment. Find a photo of Alice in an envelope. Two of them together, eh? Photo of Charlotte and Alice. Where are they?
Alice didn't like this portrait. Alice and Charlotte in
There we go.
Amsterdam. It's hard to believe they've known each other for so long.
Now, an envelope.
It would be better if Charlotte had this. It deserves to be on display and not hidden in a drawer. Some days, I just feel like setting fire to all this paperwork. I'm fed up with it. Okay, time to go to work. I'm seriously late.
We'll just leave everything in disarray, because what difference does it make? Post the letter in the mailbox.
I should grab some coffee and aspirin on the way.
Just curious if you'd say anything about this time around. Nope.
These fluorescent tubes are brutal.
Hopscotch. Can we open these drawers? For some reason, I cannot reclose this one. I'm also thinking to myself, logistically, how can we open the other two? This other container or crate in the way. The silence of the absent. Spirit, not ghost. Look and believe in the spirit. Full moon.
Standard correspondence consisting of bills, advertising leaflets, and pious reminders about the upcoming end of the world.
It's very nice. Again, they... Oh. Elevator actually opened here. I am shocked. Out of service. Oh, beautiful day out. Beautiful. But now I want to ride the elevator. Try the elevator. Did the elevator actually arrive on the other floors? F 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are we? F 1. How is a locker out of service? Suspicious. Sound effects I think are missing, which I think there were some notes from the dev sent out this morning. I want to read them again. Looking. Perhaps it was yesterday's email. There's a note about Chapter 3, Chapter 5, which is spoilers, I guess, Chapter 4, 5. Chapter 2, end cutscene, end credits. Which floor do we get off on? 2? This was our floor, correct? 3? Oh, never mind. That was 4. Guess the elevator doesn't work on 3. Figured I'd mess around to see if there was like an achievement, you know, clicking all the buttons all at the same time. Ah, the mailbox, the post box.
I hope this helps, Charlotte. Okay. All done here. Time to go. Huh?
Ooh, pizza. Missing posters. Oh, are we actually leaving?
I forgot my jacket. Well. I'll brave it for tonight.
Get in your car and leave for work.
Too bad.
Whoops, that's how we were snooping. I wanted to snoop more. Oh well.
Nice and fresh. At least it's peaceful here.
Petesville Medical Examiner, Lincoln Ave, New Orleans, Louisiana. Got our own little marked van here, I guess. Got to bring the bodies somehow. Excuse me while I investigate the outside. Padlocked. Key required. Awfully dark back here. Can't say I saw anything to interact with. Why is there a random light bulb there? Gets the job done, I guess. That's very safe when it starts raining out. But I digress. Check your messages. Go to the office.
Good evening, Mr. Ridley.
The timesheet, Handman.
Remember to sign, Handman. Can we sign anything? Security room. Attendance sheet. Ridley, Handman, Shannon. Ooh, coffins, caskets. Can't go in. Please return the key to the basement. Please use the bell only once and wait patiently. Louisiana taxi. Is that spelled incorrect? Maybe it's spelled that way on purpose. Can't ring the bell.
Some corpses have more personality than this guy.
Kitchenette. Girl Power. November 1991.
Christ. Who leaves the window open in the middle of November? So I'd better check the answering machine.
Who needs fresh air achievement? Stop the cold draft. Was that a cupcake?
Hi, Jack. I dropped by a little early today. I left the body with Ridley in the corridor. He wasn't sitting in the locker then, so maybe he'll even throw him into the room. Well, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, it's your first birthday without her, and... This, I still have a hangover, and you know me, I run to the John like the neighbor's fucking dog. You know, today I slipped on his shit again. That fucking furball. He always has to shit next to my car. Anyway, I can't come over in the evening, but we'll catch up on the weekend, okay? Bye. I almost forgot. Charlotte called me this morning. She asked about you, so answer your calls, Jack. This time it's not a reprimand for being late.
That's par for the course. I wonder when this clown will learn to look under his feet. Birthday. I actually forgot it was today. Alice baked me muffins like these every birthday. A treat for later. I always crave something sweet after a section. Okay, joke's over. Apron, gloves, and get to work.
Noted. Put on the apron hanging in the dissecting room.
Tempting, but not right now. Another kidnapping this month. Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern. Pathology. How to combine the hands of a surgeon, the passion for a good mystery, and an exceptionally strong stomach. Medical University diploma. I didn't know then that I would prefer corpses to living people.
I know I already clicked all that stuff previously, but I'm wondering if at some point, you know, if there'll be new stuff. Like this. Hairbrush. We're allowed back here now, too. Periodic table. Hey, Titan, how's it going? Click, click. Click, click, click. Yo, Foxy, what's up? Good to see you. Click, click. Welcome home. All right, apron up. No pants Fridays. What a time to come be. Hey, Kimmy, what's up? Titan, thank you for the 100 bits. Happy hump day. Happy hump day, everybody. Happy hump day, Foxy. Find some protective gloves to wear. They're here, right here.
Another batch of these.
Where the hell's the box of
I've
these?
gotta remember to do that later. And that's the whole point.
Set up the camcorder to document the autopsy. Who left the camcorder where? It's already here.
Steven laughs at me for recording everything. He says I have a bigger collection of stuff like this than most of the creeps he's caught.
Document everything.
November 21st, 1991. Time, 9:13 p.m. The autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Lecture for the Medical University of Missouri. After yesterday's lecture, you should already know the ins and outs, so today we'll be consolidating our knowledge. So, where do I start? That's right, police folder.
Yes, I'd say this is horror. Definitely has all the vibes of a horror game. It has the tag of horror. I played the demo for this several years ago. This game is releasing tomorrow, though. It's been a while in the making.
Ah, yes. Samantha Barker. Now I remember. There's probably going to be a lot of chatter about this.
Look through the information provided in the police folder.
When questioned, friends admitted that Samantha's last days before losing contact seemed extremely happy and relaxed. She also quit drinking alcohol and mentioned something about rehab. The friend also admits that there was no indication of an impending tragedy.
Okay, so far this game has themes of alcohol, heavy alcoholism. Considering ourselves in the bum.
Found in her own apartment by police patrol. Officers were called by a concerned friend of the deceased, who had been unable to contact Barker for several days. During the interrogation, a friend of the deceased admitted that Samantha never got to grips with the sudden fame that came after winning such a high-profile talent show.
Is that a real SSN? Look at that. Copy that.
After her first album became a commercial success, she was hit with a creative drought. She suffered panic attacks and severe sleep problems. Drugs and medication came into play. The deceased was found in her own apartment, in a semi-recumbent position on an armchair. Large quantities of alcohol and empty packets of sleeping pills were also found in the apartment.
Was that all of the files? Let's see. I think so. We're out of the prologue. We're out of the tutorial. No more hand-holding. Exit. I put down the folder.
Let's see what settled this matter. As you can see, the body is fully clothed. Therefore, before we move on to photographic documentation, we must remove the clothes. This time,
scissors.
We don't have to focus on the clothes too much. However, there are cases where a clothing analysis can lead to the cause of death.
True. Noted. That was easy.
Okay, now we can continue with the examination. Again, begin by taking photographs of the cadaver. I guarantee that over time, it will cease being embarrassing for you.
Who are you talking to?
First, we photograph the whole body. And now, any suspicious-looking marks or wounds.
Find marks on the body to photograph. Boobs. Hands on the neck. Strangulation.
Interesting. Very uneven. We need to investigate this.
It was a Wendigo, surely.
Yes, I've seen this many times. You don't get such bruises from a normal contusion.
Oh, feet.
Well, there's even more here.
You should have heard it before. Nightmare was here for it when we did some cutting of the, what was it, the ribs? So what a satisfying crunch. True story. Head? Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
There it is. Oh, right there, shoulder.
I get it.
What's Frank Reynolds doing? Danny DeVito gets it. Cage Titan, thanks for the 100 bits.
A
Hey,
few
photos
we need
completed.
to look into here.
Paranoia would be through the roof. Obviously, at this point in my life, it would be pretty hard to transition over, and it's not my first preferred choice. I think I could. I mean, push comes to shove, but yeah, it wouldn't be easy. Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. So what are we doing? Pin the photos to the board. Samantha Barker. 1, 2, 3. Done. Get started. Perform the autopsy simulator.
Notes prepared. Time to take a closer look.
Inspect the areas of concern with the magnifying glass. Tab. Magnifier. Looking.
The number of bruises suggests that there may have been some kind of tussle.
Mouse 2. Neck.
Some furrows have imprinted more strongly, others less, as if someone was undecided. Such bruises are caused by either a very heavy blow or by some internal issues. And here's something interesting. The skin of the deceased is covered with numerous blisters. Some of them are ruptured. Others still contain fluid residue.
And where was the last one? Foot. Feet. Victory over defeat.
More numerous blisters. We have some leads to investigate here. Let's write this down.
Back. And then we shift. Highlight the previously found wounds on the clipboard mannequin. 5 spots.
Given
1.
the condition of the deceased, it's difficult to tell immediately whether the bruises were the result of a struggle or perhaps the result of iron deficiency. On the neck of the deceased, we can see clear furrows, indicating that strangulation may be the probable cause of death. Currently, it's difficult to say whether the bruises were the result of a beating or whether it could be some kind of internal bleeding. Although it's easier to have abrasions on your feet, but the number and size of the blisters suggest that it's probably a matter of barbiturate poisoning. In general, such blisters usually appear in the case of mechanical abrasions, but due to the place of occurrence, this should be excluded. The most likely cause of such skin changes is the high concentration of barbiturates in the body.
What is a barbiturate? I actually don't know. Highlight and consider each wound from the marks and wound section.
The examination with a UV lamp will dispel some doubts. Potential attackers could have left traces. A severed spinal cord, trauma to the larynx, or trachea will verify whether the hanging was the final nail in Miss Barker's coffin. After examining the organs, we can easily verify whether there was internal bleeding or whether the deceased was suffering from something.
Taking notes, Foxy, thank you.
To be checked in the lab later. I'll add barbiturates to the list of necessary tests. Given the testimony of the victim's friend, I add alcohol poisoning to the list of potential causes of Miss Barker's death. A blood test will no doubt quickly verify that hypothesis.
Alcohol.
But first I'll check for external traces. For this we use the good old UV lamp.
Oh, we haven't used this
I
yet.
look carefully at the whole body. UV rays will reveal any traces. The area around the head is empty. Torso, right hand clean. Legs, there's nothing here. The left hand seems to be fine. No marks. Well, nothing to surprise us here. Now gently, we take the deceased by the hand.
Achievement unlocked. Factor 50. Use the UV lamp for the first time. From the rigor mortis exam. Grab that hand.
Check for rigor mortis. Again, the hand falls freely. After yesterday, you should know what this means. Since we don't have a definitive lead, we will examine all the key organs one by one. So, I'm starting the internal inspection.
Scalpel. There we go.
I dissect the skin of the deceased.
Missed a spot. Right
and
there.
I proceed to deflect the skin flaps. Compared with yesterday's body, the deceased has only trace amounts of adipose tissue. Now for the ribs.
Loppers. More loppers over here.
What do we have here? Or rather, what don't we have? There is certainly no sign of internal bleeding. Sometimes regarding bruising, it doesn't take much. My wife was constantly banging into furniture, walking into door frames. That's a wonder she never broke anything. Before I disembowel the deceased, I will take samples for toxicological tests to determine the alcohol content in the body. I just need my syringe.
Can barely watch the game. I had the czar sound up, Freudian sound here, the bleh before. I'm doing all this. Syringe.
Just to be sure, I'm taking samples from 3 organs: the eyeball, the heart, and the bladder. Analysis will rule out, or confirm, alcohol poisoning as the cause of death.
One, two, bladder.
All done. I'll transfer these to the centrifuge. What was it? 15, 70, 10, 75?
Retrieve the notebook from the office with the necessary values to run centrifuge. It was 1570, for the record. But I'll play along. I'll play along.
Maybe one day
What
need
the
my notebook.
f is this piece of
Diane, thanks for another 100 biddies, as always. Thank you. Notebook.
Numbers have never been my strong point. It's probably why I regularly forgot birthdays and anniversaries. I'm lucky Alice always forgave me.
Back to the dissecting room. Or like the centrifuge. Insert samples here.
Gently does it with this old thing. Handle with kid gloves.
Yeah, 15 for presence of alcohol. Yes, it's so same 1575. Wonder if I could have done this without going back. Maybe gotten an achievement for memorizing. Too late. 15 minutes 70.
I'm starting the centrifuge. Let's see what results come out. The laboratory is already open, so... Fucking hell! Ridley! Mr. Ridley! Where is he? The fuses need resetting. Fuck it. I'll do it myself. I swear there was a flashlight in here.
Flashlight, you say?
Some of my previous cases, a reminder of more prosperous times.
If you were a flashlight, where would you be?
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass. I guess.
Who?
Galanodo asked me,
Hey, Gail.
"Hey Gordon, it's been a while since we last talked.
Sure,
I got a
was
job
that?
doing autopsy. The extra money has given me access to higher quality meats,
Whatever.
such as liver and heart. Don't ask. What are your recommendations for dishes using those, or perhaps other organs? I'm glad you found a job in the medical field. It's not my first choice, but each to their own. When it comes to cooking liver and heart, keep it simple.
Hannibal.
Liver. Try a classic liver and onions with a rich gravy. Heart, go for a hearty stew or kebabs. Just remember to season. Well, and for the love of food, keep it properly cooked.
Liver and onions. He's working with Hannibal Lecter. I made a mistake by walking back in here. GG. Wait. Oh. At the centrifuge? What the hell am I looking at? I decided to come back to look for this flashlight. I don't know if they meant it was in here or elsewhere. What the hell am I looking at?
Scalpel.
What who the? Like I didn't see the door. Screw it. Kebabs, kebabs, kebab.
First the right, and then the left. And voila.
Right one first, restore the electricity. Return to the autopsy.
What?
Yeah, I don't recall seeing a flashlight, but apparently there was one. Maybe not. I don't recall seeing a flashlight in the area.
What the? Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't I work in peace?
Yeah, very shocking considering that Ramsey even is aware that I'm streaming and can read the category, the game in question.
Jack Hanman speaking.
Easy, why so rude?
Steve? Sorry, man. This place is falling apart, and Ridley won't even lift a finger to help. You just can't work here.
Did the centrifuge strip the fuses again?
Yeah, eventually everything's gonna go up in smoke.
Look on the bright side. It's a free cremation with your autopsy.
Jesus, stop it. That shit pisses me off.
Okay, sorry, Jack. Anyway, I'm calling to ask how the autopsy's going. Soon there'll be journalists sniffing around for info, so we'd best be ready.
I'll whiz through this in a couple of hours. It doesn't look like a complicated case to me. More of a formality. The report will be available in the morning.
Sounds great. Thanks. Phew.
Red apple gum.
Well, my head seems better than yours. On the way to work.
Holy fuck. Jack, turn on the radio.
What? What's happening?
Quiet.
A 3-car police convoy was involved in an accident near Pete's Bay Bridge while transporting prisoners to Orleans Parish Prison. At the moment, we do not know the exact number of victims or whether any of the convicts escaped. However, the scale of the accident indicates a large number of victims, possibly even fatal ones. Police are on their way to investigate the incident and secure the area. We know that the injured prisoners are on death row. The police were to transport them to their execution, which was to take place tomorrow morning. Many of them are very dangerous criminals. We will report on the matter on an ongoing basis, so stay tuned with us.
What?
Swallows hard.
Steven, was Red Pete one of the passengers? He was, wasn't he? What if he survived?
Jack, I have to go. You want me on site?
What if he survived?
I gotta go. Talk to you later, okay?
Fuck. Calm down, Jack. Pills. I need my pills. You heard him, Jack. A serious accident. Lots of victims. He's definitely dead.
Surely. Check the bathroom for your pills.
Yes. Nothing's going to happen.
Red hot tamale candy.
Christ. I've got to get back to work.
Collect the samples from the centrifuge rotor. That's one type of... Again, I've never been a big candy guy, but I've never really gotten into the cinnamon candies. The hot candy stuff. The spices. What the... hello? Pills? What? Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah, good point, Nightmare. Wait a minute.
I've already taken my pills.
Oh,
Not looking to
hope I didn't break
overdose.
the game somehow by not getting a flashlight.
Fucking hell! Technical break. At least I know I can pursue a career as a janitor if I need to.
Power that off. I'm still just trying to see. Anybody see this flashlight? Supposed flashlight?
It's been a while since the eye wash in this thing was changed. It's probably a health hazard now. I found it fun to examine alcohol under the microscope. It makes some stunning rainbow crystalline structures. Of course, alcohol is also just at home in a glass. No ice. Alright, let's see if we were able to get anything out of this piece of crap. And miraculously, yes. The samples did spin. I'll transfer them to the chromograph in the lab.
Place the samples into the rack. Chromograph in the laboratory.
Alright, let's load this up. I placed the test tubes in the rack.
Take the pipette and set it to draw 5 milliliters of fluid.
Now, just take 5 milliliters from each.
F.
Precisely.
Ta-da. Mouse 1 down.
And
Got it.
next.
Oh, hang. Hold. 10. We grab mouse wheel 10. Collect the second sample. Hold M1.
5 more.
Set the pipette to draw 15 milliliters of fluid. I guess we could do the testing. Need 15. Spin that, move it over. It automatically comes up. M1. Let's grab some juice.
We put the prepared sample into the machine.
F.
Let's see what we have here.
Check the printed results. Printer?
The results indicate that the deceased did consume alcohol shortly before her death. However, this is not an amount that could cause poisoning leading to death. Just slight inebriation. I can return to the body and continue the rest of the examination.
Aye, aye.
The chromatograph results show that we can eliminate alcohol poisoning from our list of potential causes of death. However, remember that alcohol can affect the functioning of the entire body. It disturbs the heart rhythm, accelerating its rate, and dilutes the blood, which may result in more severe bleeding in the event of an accident. Also remember that alcohol affects the metabolism of drugs in the liver, which I'll now look at in more detail.
Rip alcohol.
First, I'll pick up the syringe again. I'll take samples from the liver and the heart to test the concentration of barbiturates in the body.
Slurp Gorpin.
That's enough. I'll do the test later. I'd best not try my luck with the centrifuge right now. Now I remove the liver.
Shift. Clipboard.
No lesions. However, it is slightly enlarged. Perhaps it's a slight inflammation or drug-induced damage. It may also be the result of the deposition of substances from drugs. Let's check the weight of the organ.
Liver is slightly enlarged. Cross-sectional examination. Something. Weigh the liver at the scale, then transfer it to the cutting board.
The weight is 1,300 grams. The liver is enlarged. I'll move on to a cross-sectional study. Perhaps the enlargement is the result of early cancerous changes. The blade glides through smoothly. I don't feel like I'm encountering any changes with an unusual structure. No steatosis or cirrhosis. The liver is actually quite clean inside.
Heading back.
The liver is basically healthy. We already know that the deceased didn't abuse alcohol. The question is, what about drugs or other substances? I move on to the heart.
Hey, Brandon. What's up? You're gonna throw a heart examination.
Oh. At a glance, we can see signs of a heart attack. The deceased is definitely too young to have a heart attack due to natural causes. The liver is enlarged, not from alcohol poisoning, and the heart looks like it has collapsed. So, I guess we need to go to the centrifuge and check for these barbiturates.
Damaged heart
The last time
muscle.
I saw this kind of poisoning was a few years ago. I better check the data in my notebook. He was a middle-aged guy. He took his medication and forgot about it. So, he took another pill. He forgot again and took another one. And another one. Until he took the last one. That's why it's better to have amnesic drugs in boxes labeled with the days of the week. This sort of thing rarely happens anymore. Doctors tend to prescribe benzodiazepines. They are safer, but still shouldn't be combined with alcohol.
Noted. Use the centrifuge. Here we go again. Place the samples into the centrifuge rotor.
All right.
It's always the same. 'Cause I already thought we did the alcohol, so no. What are we testing for? Barbiturates. Where's that at? Looking. Carbohydrate, phosphate, diethanol. Oh, there's pages. Hold up. Aha. Oh my goodness, look at this. More you know. Ten minutes at 75%. Oh.
We close the centrifuge and pray that it doesn't trip anything again.
Oh my God, do we pray.
It looks like our luck is in.
One little, two little,
Take
three
the
little samples.
to the lab now. I wonder how she was able to get hold of these drugs. Okay, 2 samples this time. 6
Uno,
milliliters
dos.
each.
6, you say. Grab U. F. fancy. 12. F.
Well, let's see how much of it we find.
Reading.
Nothing surprising. Significant amounts of phenobarbital metabolites of hepatic origin. Looks like I'll have to check the contents of the deceased's stomach.
Back and forth. The only thing similar I'd say is the fact that we're performing autopsies, but
The test
not sure about the coming back to life yet.
blood contained enough barbiturates to cause cardiopulmonary collapse. The question now is whether it was an accident or a deliberate act. I'm proceeding to examine the stomach. Before extraction, I ligate the entire organ to prevent its contents from spilling out. Okay, I'm now cutting out the organ, which will move to the board for dissection.
To the board. The chopping
Normally,
block.
the stomach and intestines are full of surprises.
So far, this one is the most convoluted cut out of any ones we've done thus far.
But not this time. We see remnants of undigested food and a dense mass of pills. You don't take this many drugs by accident. Length and width normal. No obvious pathological changes. Undigested drugs found in the stomach of the deceased. The direct cause of death was probably an overdose. I'll check the rest of the organs, and then the nervous system. We'll see how significant the marks on the neck are for the whole case.
Inspect the lungs, trachea, and small intestine for damage.
Lungs are normal, no lesions. The victim was probably a smoker, but was unlikely to be in any serious danger. The deceased's trachea is normal, complete patency. No food or fluid. The deceased's intestine is normal, no clear pathological changes. Abdominal cavity checked off. We can check the brain.
Oh boy, select the skull saw and open the cranium. One skull saw.
I make a cut to open the lid of the victim's skull.
Where'd her hair go? There's the part of cutting off the hair, shaving the head. Barber Simulator.
Brain is normal. No obvious lesions. Alright. I need to dissect it on a board.
Cut it all. Cut everything.
Using a knife, I carefully cut through the brain tissue. I peek
Carefully.
inside a bit.
Me.
And, I don't think there's anything worth noting. As expected, the deceased's brain is in excellent condition. No discoloration or changes due to hypoxia.
Oh,
There is
safety
still
goggle
the matter
time.
of the marks on the neck. They look superficial, but who knows? Maybe the spinal cord has been severed. I need goggles and a saber saw.
Ooh,
I
yes.
think the goggles were in the desk drawer. Oh, they're out there. Alice. Saw. I need saw. Fuck. I don't see it here. Oh. I know. I probably left it in the basement after its last cleaning.
Go ask Ridley where the basement key is. Goggles, gloves, and apron on.
Mr. Ridley, I need a key to the basement.
It's in the social room.
Why is the key lying at the... never mind. Thank you.
Hey, Hammond. Did you hear about the convoy? Well, maybe you'll get a chance to relive your glory days and catch Red Pete again, huh?
Let's hope there won't be a need for that.
Find the key for the basement in the social room, which I
If only
assume
you
is
put
this.
that much enthusiasm. I get the feeling that searching
Skipping
through this
dialogue.
rubbish is more pathogenic than working with corpses. Please, may this be the last trip.
Head to the basement and grab the spine saw.
Fuck. Why did the prison convoy have to get into an accident? Jack, take a deep breath. Deep.
Hey there, Choco Tuesday. You definitely can't work in the medical field. I was saying earlier, definitely
with the autopsy.
would not be high on my
Go
list.
home and rest.
Deliver the bad news to families, etc. It's funny you bring that up, Witchy. Not really funny, but I'm not gonna go into detail or anything. But I was talking to safety officers at work, security officers. I think majority of them are all former or police. The one was telling me about bad news he had to share and stuff like that. So very sad stuff, dude.
Fuck.
Oh, spacebar. Mash it.
Doesn't anyone do maintenance around here? Damn Hatch. Damn Red Pete. Will I ever again? Ever be? If only. I think the goggles were in the desk drawer.
What? Why are we talking about the goggles again? We're wearing the goggles, no? Either way. Did I just break the goggles and I wasn't paying attention? Ooh, fancy down here. Finish the spine examination. Or the Doomslayer.
It would be easier if I put things away properly.
The worst news Foxy had to deliver was that the car got towed off by the repo people. Just still, yeah, you know, definitely not like a loss of life, but still. Nobody ever wants to be the bearer of any bad news, I guess. Whiskey in the jarro. Light bulb doesn't move like a chain. Your car wasn't stolen. Bad news. It was repoed.
And like clockwork, he's already sleeping.
Veg.
Sorry for the short interruption. I hope you all took the opportunity to
Pardon
grab
me,
some
madam?
coffee. And now that I have everything I need, I'll move on to revealing the spinal cord.
M1. Ooh. Oh. We might. Okay, we just gently tap M1. Gently, gently, gently. I was going full spam mode. Full Outlast Trials. Woman beating me out of a locker mode. Beating the shit out of me. Hey, QTEs. A plus spacebar. What's happening? First time seeing this.
The spine is removed. I can see that the spinal cord was not severed. This shows that apart from the marks around the neck, hanging didn't negatively affect the condition of the deceased. Ladies and gentlemen, almost over. Now, to sum up and tidy away the body.
Turn to the autopsy. We're here. We're getting the skin ready for Buffalo Bill from the Silence of the Lambs. Imagine. It's a prequel. Would this be a sequel? When it Silence of the Lambs, the film come out, not the book.
The direct cause of Samantha Barker's death was a heart attack resulting from an overdose of barbiturates.
Note the main cause of death. Possible death causes. Overdose, suicide, third-party involvement.
Traces found on the body suggest that the overdose
Nothing
was
gentle
a
about that.
deliberate act. following a failed attempt to hang herself. The autopsy found no evidence or genetic materials indicating that death could have been the result of an attack. Third-party involvement must be excluded.
Now it's time to decide the appropriate manner of death, where choices include accident, natural, suicide, unknown, or homicide. I chose overdose for possible death cause. I like how unknown is a choice. Ghosts. Spirits. We'll go with suicide.
Autograph, and we can start sewing.
H-O-Z. There's Z-E-N. Done.
In the 1950s and
How was that?
1960s, the use of barbiturates for suicide was actually quite common. I think it was most talked about after the death of Marilyn Monroe.
Wonder if there's multiple endings or achievements for doing all this stuff. A ghoulish drug pusher, exactly. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't see. Look where the devs are from. In the U.S., do we use kilograms and centimeters on these forms, or would it be pounds and feet or inches? But the dates in the game so far, not this, but have been in U.S. format. So, close the body.
At home,
I guess it's time to get the needle.
was a help and comfort. On death row, a farewell to the convicts. Well, we're done for today. Thank you for your attention.
Sorry, tiny little insect landed on my mic, and the second I opened my mouth, it's probably gonna fly in. I'm gonna go need an examination. Don't enter. Please don't enter me. Oh, whoa. Hey, yo. Leave the body.
Tiring day. I can feel those hunger pains coming on. I guess I'll have to pick something up along the way.
Snickers satisfies. Hashtag not sponsored.
Gloves in the trash. Leave the apron for cleaning. Now I can go. Camera. I didn't turn it off.
I'm trying to interact with said camera. No luck. Just walk through the doors.
A nightcap will do me good.
Are you talking about in your office, or... You should eat that cupcake.
Good night, Mr. Ridley.
Oh, he's
The
awake.
police will pick up the body and accompanying documentation in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You get to go back here.
I guess there are actually two things in this world you can be certain of. Death and Ridley's reluctant attitude.
Get the taxes.
Alright, maybe three things. My whiskey on the rocks when I get home.
Day 1 completed.
So cold. I guess I should have brought my jacket to work. This block can be quite intimidating when it's so quiet. Almost there. Stephen didn't want to go out for a drink tonight, so I'll drink my whiskey in the company of my TV. Shit. I forgot the muffin.
I didn't.
Well,
You did, though.
Ridley will have a nice treat for the night. I'm sure he'll be his happy, thankful self tomorrow.
Wonder if that's intentional or not, Nightmare. You weren't supposed to see that. And speaking of the Silence of the Lambs, Silent of the Absent. Ghost. Why is 3 all freaky? I'll blur it out. Graffiti is not a vandalism? Is that what that says? Foreshadowing. I like that. Does that say vandalism?
What?
We just teleport. Look, Ma, no hands. Cutscene.
What the fuck? But I locked it. I'm sure of it.
I mean, in fairness, your place was, at least your bedroom was pretty messy beforehand. Achievement unlocked. Samantha Barker. Complete chapter 1. Chapter number 2.
Who the fuck did this? I don't have anything valuable. Oh, God. Oh, God. What am I supposed to do now? Money. They must have stolen the money.
Check the trinket box. The Trinkies. I don't know how much of the game, like I said, if there are straightforward path with one ending, or I didn't look at the achievement list. Usually I don't, but like how much there's achievements that do tie into snooping around, or you know, ones that just are given to you through the course of the story.
Great. That's all I need.
Money's gone.
What if it was Red Pete?
Somehow I'm walking on the.
I wasn't able to support her.
On the road. So one of my little favorite features so far, quality of life, is you can obviously repeat dialogue in this game and many others. It's the same thing, but you can press the space bar to skip it if you heard it again, or if you accidentally misclick, or so on and so forth. Usually in games that I've played, I don't have that luxury.
Where? I need my pills. I can't get my thoughts together.
Seems brighter in here than it did earlier on in the morning. Red hot tamales.
Okay. I'm gonna have to report this to the police. Christ. Why did the neighbors not report anything? I'm calling Steven.
$1991 cordless phone. Looks like the one my parents had. Probably many others in the 90s too.
Steven?
Everybody else is as old as I am.
Jack, I told you, I'm going for a drink with you for another night in a row.
That's not why I'm ringing. Although I could do with one. Someone broke into my apartment.
What? Did anyone see anything? Have you called the police yet?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, no one contacted me. As for the police, I'm calling right now, officer.
All right. Do you want me to head around? Look for any trace evidence?
I don't know. No, I guess not. Honestly, I don't have the strength to deal with it right now. I just want to lie down.
Are you sure? Because it's no trouble at all.
I think so. I'm sorry. I just wanted to calm down a bit. I don't know. That's probably some stupid joke. Only money was stolen.
Money? From Alice's box? Oh, fuck. Listen, I can come over. I have the key. I'll drop by, do what I need to do, and you go get some sleep.
No, don't trouble yourself. Lately, I've been just so tired and distracted. I don't know. Maybe I forgot to close the apartment door on my way to work. If anything else is missing, I'll let you know and call the police.
All right. Just make sure you close it tonight. If you see anything weird tomorrow, let me know. Whoever did this may be watching you.
I don't think anyone is dumb enough to come back.
You're probably right. Take care, Jack. If you need anything, call me.
I promise I will. Thanks, Steven. Sorry to bother you again.
Is Steven sus that since he has a key?
All over the place lately.
It's not a problem. Good night, Jack.
Good night.
Now, about that nightcap. Sound.
What? guess I should clean this shit up.
You can wait till morning. What does that say down there? Mullets and more. The barber's shop. She'll get her mullet.
Shit. The glass in this thing needs to be replaced.
Jack, why?
I think I'm just tired. I'm glad this didn't break.
To the mullet store. Pizza.
To be honest, I could leave it like this.
Clean up the
There we
apartment.
go. I still don't understand why Alice liked this painting so much.
Guess we'll leave the cabinets open? Surely.
Maybe I could barricade the door with this. I should pack this thing away. I have no interest in DIY at the moment. Now I'm sure That's enough for now. Jeez, I'm exhausted. I'll get the rest in the morning.
Oh, forced to go to bed. Achievement unlocked. Mr. I'll get the rest in the morning. Clean up Jack's apartment after a burglary.
Oh yeah, I should take my pills.
I guess it is darker in here because we're not turning the lights on. Sunrise. Daybreak. Pills, por favor.
I feel like it takes me forever to finish these things.
Change your clothes and leave the apartment.
It will never look clean. I need to quickly change and finish getting ready. I'm gonna be late for work again. Got my keys, got my files. Check. Time to go.
Adios.
Remember to close the door properly, Jack. I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious.
The hell?
I wonder if Ridley fixed the coffee. What? Alice used to joke that smoking near plants made cigarettes less harmful.
Sussy. Wonder if we should be using the stairs to see if anything changed.
Huh?
Achievement unlocked. I pressed the wrong button. Get to the top floor of the building. I was to look around because my microphone is obscuring the lower right of my screen. Rip. Looking. Chat, completely unrelated to everything going on here. I have a craving. I'm not going to start it tonight, but I definitely have a craving to play some Silent Hill 2, 3, or 4, or possibly one of the other less popular ones. Sooner than later on stream, just another casual playthrough. Probably because of all the Silent Hill 2 remake news got me in the mood. Could look around, could snoop some more.
Maybe a bit optimistic. I'd better grab a coffee on the way.
Those classic seatbelt buckles that burn you. I don't know if anybody remembers those or is old enough to remember those. Sitting out in the sun, metallic metal seatbelts, not plastic, on the outside. Oh boy, fun times as a child. Buckle up! My hands!
I'm exhausted. At least it's quiet here.
Or the infamous, or even the parents getting in those cars, the metal buckles. And summertime, if you had like shorts on, short shorts or whatever, your thigh touching against those buckles. Yikes. Yowie.
Stephen brought in today.
Sit in the middle. Yeah, I didn't have to do that
Good
often, but
morning,
once in a
Mr.
blue
Ridley.
moon.
No, he's not here yet. No, I'll do without him.
Wanted, fugitive. Oh, Peter, there's Red Pete Hockett. Date of birth, 43, 6'1", 210 pounds. Hair dark, but bald. Bald-headed.
I hope he... Oh, come on. He was too lazy to even wheel the gurney to the autopsy room.
Push the trolley. I tried to let go, I can't. Hey there, Quanthulu. Nice beard. Are you from Australia? I'm not. I'm from Pennsylvania, United States.
Almost there. Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's Ridley when you need him?
If you find your body, can you just cremate it? Simple.
All right. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work.
Put on the apron hanging in the dissecting room. Look, more gloves. Convenient.
I'm going to need my tape recorder for this.
Maybe we're dead ourselves and we're in purgatory. Or limbo. Forced. This is life.
Autopsy dated November 22nd.
Testing. 1 2 1 2. Use a voice recorder for the first time. Achievement unlocked.
Led by Dr. Jack Hanman. I begin by verifying the identity of the Jane Doe.
Pen is kind of like Australia. Look through the information provided in the police folder.
It's most likely Harper Lloyd, age 35. Found in a well-owned
Lloyd
house
Christmas.
by her neighbors Leonard and Dorothy Chelsea. Reported missing for a week. It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common-law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver. The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows. I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh.
Shitters.
Nice one. Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color.
Ringu.
It seems that her disappearance would have benefited many in the community. Let's see if anyone had a hand in it. I proceed to open the bag and check the state of decomposition of the corpse. The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred before or after entering the water. Therefore, we'll need to focus and pay attention to the details.
Devil in the
Better do it
details.
quickly.
The reason I'm sometimes hesitating here now is to let the dialogue play out, since we've seen that you can obviously rush through some of this stuff, I guess, whether it be intentional or not, dialogue-wise. Use the zip.
Okay, that could have been worse. I carefully removed
Maple
the
syrup.
victim's clothes so as not to damage the skin. The deceased was one shoe was
Oh.
missing. I'm going to need the camera to document all
Speaking to
possible
dialogue.
suspicious marks. Definitely the first thing that stands out is the very advanced post-mortem gigantism, including clearly visible post-mortem lividity.
F. For photo mode.
The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale.
And marks. Zoom. Enhance.
Post-mortem markings are seen on the underside of the body. That is, on the back, thighs, and calves of the deceased.
1 of
Liver
6.
mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins. There are bruises and hemorrhages on the neck. These usually occur due to increased inhalation when fighting to breathe underwater. It's likely that the deceased was lying on her back when she was fished out.
Soles of the feet. Oh. Had a feeling.
The so-called washerwoman's skin on the feet. The deceased had indeed been in the water for a long time.
Pruning in the tub. In the hot tub. In the bathtub. Free moonshine.
There are some obvious scratches on the skin. The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body.
Loading.
Separation takes the form of a glove. So,
Marks found.
after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this.
Autopsy time. Let's go. Get those hands dirty.
Today's date. The deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not need to be checked. Based on the state of decay,
My favorite
be
minigame.
sure it has subsided. Where to start?
Magnifier.
No obvious signs of struggle. The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails.
Don't know if we have any moonshine drinkers in the chat, but I think I've said this in the past. I actually have a couple of open bottles, but like only 1 sip of moonshine, like 2 or 3 bottles of moonshine. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I was gifted them and I gave them a shot, but they weren't for me. So I passed the savings on to you for free. Pass the moonshine on to you guys.
Blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism. Yep, pretty typical. There are obvious scratches on the skin, especially on the back and hands. These could be defensive wounds, evidence of some sort of altercation prior to death. We see thick, white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning.
She's missing an eye, no? It's just me. Foot soldier.
Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, we can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture.
I don't think it's that strong, at least the moonshine I have. I think it's more like 40,
That's
45,
probably
but I have to
enough
double
give
check.
Direction for further examination. I'd better note that down in the records.
Highlight the previously found wounds on the clipboard mannequin. Does look like she's missing an eye. One-eyed
There
Willie.
doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this liver mortis.
Distinct post-mortem stains, purple bluish red hue. The distribution indicates a long time of rest on the back. No signs of poisoning.
Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins. Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people. Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible. Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water. Typical washerwoman's skin. Considering the deceased's penchant
6.
for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident.
Highlight and consider each wound from marks and wound
Their
section.
distribution
Possible
suggests
death
that the
causes.
victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Liver mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here.
You drank that moonshine, Hobby?
In this case, the question is, was drowning an accident or of suicidal intent? Maybe it's just abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being...
I'm already thinking
pushed
homicide
well.
on this one.
Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise, I'd have trouble identifying the deceased. A simple trip, loss of balance, and as a result, you end up in a deep hole with no way out. Well, after all, several people had a motive to kill her. That's all for now. Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct. I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her. All right. The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should
Hey,
be
Zara,
around
what's up?
here somewhere.
What are we doing? Take the appropriate tools from the suitcase to perform a fingerprint examination. I saw a suitcase somewhere.
Oh, here it is. If the body of the deceased is well preserved, fingerprinting is similar to that of a living person. With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the
Glycerine.
hands and the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, a mixture of glycerin or air is used. The fingerprint sheet should always be checked. Slipping fingers, too much or too little ink, or inaccurate hand position can make fingerprints illegible.
Noted.
Okay, I think I have everything.
This is our first time doing the fingerprints.
I'll move on to the actual examination.
Focus on the subject's hand and inject glycerine into the fingers. Oh wait, do I have to like back my ass up? Oh.
Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles.
Oh. All 5 fingies.
Now I take a brush.
You're not the first person tonight, Sarah, to mention that, or in some facsimile thereof. Brush the entire palm with pigment.
Only when the skin
Beautiful.
is taut and elastic can you use it.
Are you happy? You just hear the squishy noise in your headset. Imagine getting a floater. Oh, wait a minute. Hold. Is this the pigment here? Oh, that's the paper, I thought. How does this work? Are you feeling it now? Oh, I have to hold M1. My bad. Excuse
I
me.
think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples. In the case of drowning victims, you have to be extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand like a glove when you take the print.
Use the paper to take the fingerprints. Clicking.
The skin of the deceased is extremely delicate, but it worked.
Leave the corpse.
I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the system.
I wanted the fingy print. Send fingerprints to Steven using the fax machine. Where is the fax? Probably not. Oh, it is here. Convenient. Someone's thinking.
Green button and send. Once the data uploads, I'll run run the prints against the police database on the computer. It shouldn't take long.
Juan Thulu, my last job was actually at a med school, a new med school. I was in the IT department, so I wasn't like a student myself. Everybody assumed I was, but we had a, well, a current job has it too, a gross anatomy lab, a GAL, G-A-L. And a few times I was in there, not often. Nobody, other people didn't want to go. Everybody was like all scared or whatever. I'm like, I'll go in. I'll go and work in the computers if the bodies are out. Screw it. The embalmed bodies. 07 to the dead. Someone's got to do it. What am I doing here? Compare the fingerprints of the computer using the police database. That formaldehyde, yeah, the formaldehyde, is that how you say it? The embalming fluid smell. That is something else, though. That's something I haven't heard. It took me a little while to get used to.
Great. The data is there.
New data has been detected. Upload. This is 1991, by the way. This is pretty sophisticated
Now,
here.
Go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun.
Compare the fingerprints at the computer using the police database. Analyze. Butt polish. I choose you, Pikachu. Drag all comparison points. What? Drag all comparison points to the selected fingerprint. Okie dokie.
One more. Analyze button. And we have a result.
Forensics.
Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record. So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd. That went smoothly. I'll print this out and attach it to the medical records.
Low-level shoplifting. Find. Petty theft and disorderly conduct. Participation in a fight under the influence of drugs. Find. Disorderly conduct. Nuisance and vandalism. Low-level shoplifting. Nuisance and aggressive behavior under the influence of alcohol. Or vandalism. Death. We're multi-talented, Foxy. Jack of all trades.
Great. Now we can go.
Achievement
back to
unlocked.
inspection.
Woman in the well confirmed the identity of the deceased. Turn to the autopsy.
I'm adding the name of the deceased. I can finally get to the practical part.
Syringe.
I'll start the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick. If the victim was alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting for her life, and then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water like a well, got into the body.
Diatoms. I saw that before in the notebook.
In the meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope. I'm sure that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police found the body.
Microscope. Which was here.
Now I need to adjust the knobs properly and place the diatom in the center of the slide. Diatoms are single-celled microscopic algae.
Use the microscope to verify. I don't see an option for the notebook. Sus.
Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae. Oh.
Way too dank.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh. The aperture still needs adjustment. The image is too dark.
Are you happy now, sir? No?
Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. And perfect.
Is it really?
And perfect.
gaming. So we got zoom, brightness, and focus on the bottom where my cam is covering. Am I too zoomed in? Max zoom. Not sure what I'm looking for here. Clearly diatoms, but
Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
40x.
And perfect.
I think you're wrong, sir.
And perfect. Oh. Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here.
Seems way too bright.
I'm finally
What are you
starting to
talking
see
about?
something here.
It's like one of those memes.
Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here.
What am I not getting here? This is the first time the game's having us do this, so... And I don't see any tutorial on the bottom left. Usually there's like a notebook.
Great. This way I'll see if I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae. Oh. I'm finally starting to see something here. And perfect.
If it's perfect, why can't we
finally
leave? What's happening?
Oh. 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 I'm finally starting to see something here.
I can't back out.
I'm finally starting to... Oh. 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 I'm finally starting to see something here.
Enhance. Like, here we can move it around. To me, that looks crisp. Maybe that's crisper. I don't know. That's like too crisp. Who knows? Wait, what's this? Why did this pop up now? What does it mean? What am I doing? What am I looking at? Clearly something is happening.
As expected,
Oh, hold up.
we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, epitheca, which overlaps the lower, hypotheca, is clearly visible.
Apparently that was it.
The presence of diatoms in the brain samples
Now we know,
taken
for the future.
indicate that the deceased was certainly alive when she fell into the water and was possibly conscious.
Return to the autopsy. We're back.
Since there were diatoms in the brain, it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis.
Scary game?
To an examination
Forward to
of the
me.
abdominal cavity. I begin by dissecting the skin of the deceased.
One scalpel. Hold. 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 But
I must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here.
an explosion. Huh?
You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. I proceed to remove the rib cage.
Johnny Cage. Loppers.
It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood from the lungs for testing for diatoms.
1 syringe.
If diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way. Now, I remove the lungs and proceed to their examination.
Long time.
Taking the lungs in my hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their elasticity, which is the result of water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result,
The Oregon Trail.
we have a nice imprint of the ribs. The emphysema itself, it's clear how far it's progressed, which is characteristic of drowning. Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph. This allows us to significantly expand the classical examination in the field of forensic medicine. However, I can't count on such luxuries, so I must reach for a more archaic technology.
Locate a bucket and storage room
and
from the
water.
test. Noted. Storage room. Uh-oh.
Who has anyone been here? I hope no one dipped a mop in it.
Surely.
It's best to go to the lab for this. Historically, the lung float test is used to detect infanticide.
Lab test.
The water should be at room temperature.
Turns it on max hot.
That's enough. To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water. This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs, everything is ready to bring them here. Of course, such a study isn't without flaws. Air may have entered a newborn's air. Oh, Jesus.
I'm cutting off dialogue again.
In this case, however, it's about something else.
Chopping.
Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs.
Yes, your lung is served. I'm modding everyone.
To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface.
Place the lungs in the water. Okie dokie. Floaters. Oh, never mind.
Just as I
Sinky.
assumed, the lungs collapsed easily.
Take the lungs back to the autopsy room to dissect them. What's up, YouTube? Today we're here cutting this dead chick open. They get the views.
Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer, so further investigation is needed.
Dissection. There we go.
I move on to dissecting the lungs of the deceased.
The classic. We go north. Steady.
Hear the
Steady
distinct,
hands.
very unpleasant
South.
crackling of the tissues being cut through. The parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface. All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning, and our result is not false positive due to possible contaminations.
Microscope time again.
Let's see. Although I expect we'll find them easily.
Scan the slide. This is like helicopter controls. Navigate this. You like chaos. These diatoms look like? What do the diatoms do? Like if we're verifying the presence, does that just mean they're already here? Aha.
As expected. In solution, the diatoms are clearly visible. There are smaller and larger clusters of them. There will definitely be more than 20 of them.
Noted.
I'll make a note of all this. So far, this case looks pretty standard. It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway, so I move on to checking the other organs. I ligate the heart, and then remove it for inspection.
Ta-da.
Strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis, the organ can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack or other heart disease.
Mark the damage to the heart on the chart. Heart without signs of disease, strongly developed. Something.
On to the next
It just went
organ.
away.
This time, it's the liver. I remove the organ and move on to the analysis. It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for herself. Like most organs, her liver is enlarged and severely congested.
Noted.
Beginnings of cirrhosis are visible in some areas. I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect.
Here we go again.
The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and many small hemorrhagic foci. I must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased. Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years. I move on to the stomach. I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Oh, syringe, duh. Syringe time. The old suck. Wait, that's intestines. What?
It looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning, but that's in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate the organ, then cut it off. It's enlarged, probably full of putrid gases. I transfer it to the board and carefully open it.
Navigate the
checking
maze.
Contents.
North. So.
One thing you'd never get used to is how much this desk smells. Okay. The stomach is full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food. So let's check the diatoms.
Leftovers.
Again. But in a centrifuge for a change. The problem with examining drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death.
Retrieve the notebook from the office with the necessary diatoms info to run the centrifuge.
Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such an analysis requires viewing from different angles and a careful interpretation of the collected data, including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many samples as possible. Unfortunately.
Can't win all the butt. All right,
Okay.
activate sample.
This is one last little sample. Now, set.
Set the correct values of both dials for diatoms and for notes. This key, I know we saw it somewhere. Was it here? Looking. "35 minutes, 25%.
If Dorothy were here today, I'd have her do it. I prefer working closer to people.
He sighs so much. Collect the samples from the centrifuge rotor. That was a quick 35 minutes. I'm not complaining.
Done. I'll run it directly into the chromatograph and run it against the data from the police. I'm certain the analysis will show similarities between the fluid and water in Chelsea's well.
Well, well, well.
Let me think. 3 milliliters should be fine.
Imagine me not setting the value.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn.
F. Deposit. Time for another sigh.
The water sample matches the one provided by the police. Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case. More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah. There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. I cut out the trachea and examine it from all sides. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
Dissect.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside, I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Let me look at it.
One ring. Take the ring.
Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring. Quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside. What the fuck? But this is my ring. Alice's ring.
Till death do us part. Discover Alice's wedding ring.
How did it? But this should be at home. I have it. At home. It's... I have have to check this out. Where are my meds? Where the fuck are my meds? Huh?
Nothing to see here.
Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away.
Go to your car, return home immediately. We didn't finish our job.
Can't be.
But we're not done. Or are we? Guess this can wait until tomorrow. And not somebody else.
Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise.
Red Pete on the loose? So is it obvious that Red Pete killed our wife or something? Is that what happened, do we think? Seems too obvious, right? Gloves on. I see it, Nightmare. I see them gloves. Messy gloves and all. Saving.
This can't be real. Where is it? Where is it? Where? Please. It's not here. It's not. I need to go. I need to go.
Steven, check.
This is sick. Fuck.
Is that the saw on the bottom
Come
left
on,
there?
Steven.
Could be our own home saw. Yeah, there's a
fucking
saw there.
phone.
Where's the saw there?
What's up, man?
They took the ring.
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittering. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the
Toxic,
trachea
Mr.
of
Boom.
the deceased I was working
Panning
on.
everybody.
Do you understand?
I'm outing everybody.
I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? How? And when?
Where'd everything else go?
What the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steven? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck.
Something missing.
God.
I never saw these post-it notes. Sit at your desk and pour yourself a drink.
Calm down. Just calm down. I need
Plant watering? Nope.
I need a drink.
Wait, what was that on the desk?
Jesus.
I want to see that thing.
What's going on?
Is whiskey spelled with an E or no E, like as we see here? I think both are acceptable, depending where you live. To Google. Like gray or gray.
Just one sip more. Yep.
Yeah, empty bottle, missing graphics, part of the story, maybe?
Jesus.
I do see a liquid there from that angle. Bottom.
Just one sip more.
Harper Lloyd, complete chapter 2. I thought that was chapter 3 we're on. Now this is chapter number 3, clearly.
All right. I can't do it anymore. These reports will kill me one day. I'll have to finish it over the weekend. It's time to go to work. I should take out the trash first.
Trash? Garbage day? Did I remove that sound? I probably did,
Jesus.
didn't I? Yes, I never saw before. Employee pass card. 1984.
Yes.
Hi, this is Charlotte. I guess I interrupted you again?
Oh, hi. No, I just... I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
Always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then... Did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well, the photo with, the photo I asked you for?
Streamer
Hasn't
Game War
come
chat.
yet? Oh, sorry, but I said it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. I'm sorry for rushing you.
Sus.
You have so much on your mind, I thought maybe you forgot.
It's okay. No worries. With my pills, Pills. I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see...
Yeah.
Awkward laughter.
I have to go now.
Yes, sure.
Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... Well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? It would be great if you could. Really?
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Tech buy. Now,
Damn,
taking out that
Did I
trash.
mess up the address? How am I gonna get those pills? Maybe I should invite Charlotte to do something herself.
Pills. Done.
Ugh. Why is it so wet?
Throw the trash in the dumpster.
Ugh. I shouldn't be this tired.
That's like a bird, right? Marking with bird. Burge. Doesn't it seem odd there's nobody else in this world other than the security guard so far? And Steven, I guess, on the phone.
Fucking hell!
We miss a bird jump scare at the window. At the windows. Oh, never mind. Probably just the one window. Dumpster. McDumpster. Which looks pretty full. Get in your car.
I wonder if Alice's mother has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before. I should call her on Friday.
Going to work when you're dead.
Oh, God. Why do I like sleeping so much?
True.
Huh? Good afternoon.
Isn't it a bit early for you?
I missed our invigorating conversations. Has Stephen brought the body?
Yeah, the trolley's in the hall. Maybe wheeling it to the dissection room will be invigorating enough for you.
Huh. I've missed how friendly and helpful you are.
Time to push.
I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy.
Thick.
Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself.
As we move it ourselves.
Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start.
Alrighty. Apron up. No? Gloves?
A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body. Ugh. And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway. November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted by Dr. Jack Hanman. James Evans Jr., also known as Jesse. Age about 30, weight 130 kilograms, height 180 centimeters.
James Jesse Evans Jr.
Evans had previously been convicted of possession of stolen goods, robberies, and drug trafficking. There were also attempts to accuse him of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What? Burglaries in the New Orleans area? This is... It's a rather strange coincidence. The body was found naked and mutilated. Clothes, probably belonging to the deceased, were found lying nearby. The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Peetsville. The dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy. The deceased's father, James Evans Sr., is a local businessman. He was the one who reported the disappearance. At the time of the report, his son hadn't been home for 3 days. Police photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil, branches, and leaves.
Put down the folder. Put down the cookie.
Disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect this level of mutilation.
Achievement unlocked. Something missing. Open the bag containing the headless body.
I'll check through the bag the police left.
Lay the contents of the bag on the table. Pens main export, I'm not sure. I go with Skedios, but that's me. They're both good choices, though. In my opinion.
Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather plain cotton t-shirt. Classic jeans. Well, dirty and torn.
Closely examine clothes for clues.
Certainly not my style. Traces of blood and plasma. Is this?
That belt be wiggling and jiggling.
Interesting. Most of the blood is visible around the neck, mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrator's pulled his shirt over his head. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. The deceased must have been unclothed before he was injured.
Dude.
Traces of dirt mixed with blood and rubbed leaf litter. Evans must have been crawling, or was dragged along the ground. A lighter,
Oops.
engraved with the police insignia. Stolen, or maybe purchased from a pawn shop. It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence.
For a partner in crime. Looks like the one outside of our apartment. Luck. Wishing luck. I don't realize you're off, Czar, to be honest. Shows you how much I know. I know I'm surprised to see it here now at this time of day. Closely examine the clothes for clues. Q, what the hell are we looking at?
Something.
Oh, we had to click it. Okay.
It looks like some kind
I saw that.
of ecdysis scale. This could point to an animal being responsible.
Scale. We're still examining.
Oh, you can push it?
Huh? Hold up.
After all, what else could I expect? Weird. Someone obviously didn't want to put in the work. These clothes haven't been thoroughly searched.
Pocket. Pocket. It was Cocaine Bear. At the zipper, the fly.
And here, another animal souvenir. And here, another animal souvenir. It looks different. And here,
Huh?
another animal souvenir. It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes is that before his death, Evans had either put up quite a fight, or the attackers simply dragged him along the ground for a long distance. In turn, and this is certainly strange, the injuries themselves were inflicted only when he was naked. Okay, I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal encyclopedia here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to round up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him? Or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of their can and grab him. Okay, the book.
The book. Analysis of animal traces in forensics. Is that guy's name Bone? Michael Bone. Huh? Go to the lab and compare the scales with the examples in the atlas. Oh, not the scale, not the weight scale. What the hell do we do that? Oh, I'm not in the lab. Duh.
Who is this? All right. Which page was it? Local wildlife. I bet I'll find something here. Oh, that was quick. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Scale.
Not this area, but who knows? Very similar. Nile crocodile. Formerly... No way. I would expect something local? I certainly don't remember hearing of an animal escaping from the zoo. So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh.
Stabby.
Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. There hasn't been a case like this for a long, long time.
Photo camera. It's time.
Right, I'll begin. The deceased skin is smooth and taut. This suggests an advanced stage of decomposition of the corpse.
Wow, there's a lot of things to photograph. Holy shit, look at the top of the screen.
It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound.
Unlikely. What's it in Batman Killer Croc?
Nasty. Such a wound could not have occurred during the victim's lifetime.
Ants.
There are also clear traces of the deceased.
It ate the
animal
wieners there.
being
GG.
bound in some way. Evans couldn't have tied himself up like that. It looks like some sort of attack or kidnapping. Oh, and as expected, there's a bite.
69.
No head. That's not hard to miss. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument.
Almost there. Steady.
Interesting. This needs to be investigated further.
Done.
I need to gather my thoughts together. And look at these photos. It seems that they're like torn meat. But I can't tell from the photo what animal did this. I wonder whether the decapitation took place before or after death. To check. I have some suspicions about these marks. I should inspect these areas with a magnifying glass first. The work of animals can be seen here. The question is which ones?
Take the picture of the bite mark from the photo board. Oh, really?
This looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible. It should be easy to compare it with the encyclopedia and identify the culprit. I just need to make it a little bigger. It'll be faster than physically measuring the bite.
Enlarge using fax machine in 1991. Got it. Technology.
I hope I put it in right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down. At university, I didn't have facilities like a fax machine. Everything was done by hand.
Back in my day.
Ah, fantastic. Practically a one-to-one. Just some tracing paper, a pencil, and I can check these in the encyclopedia.
Use the tracing paper in your office for further examination.
Did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere. They definitely pay me too little for this. Not very comfortable, but suitable for night shifts.
Tracing paper.
Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern.
They mean back? It wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. Wednesday. It's not my favorite day, although it's certainly better than Monday.
We ain't found shit. Andrew Cannibals active today in Germany, eh?
I work with corpses, but I don't have to smell like one.
I never opened this until now. Where's the tracing paper?
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine.
Oh, it was right in front of us. I didn't see the marker. Rip.
It won't be needed for the next few months.
Now what? Still confused. Comedy night? Oh, there it is.
Oh, looks like I can tidy up after myself. Sometimes.
So we had to put that down on the desk first and then get that. Okay.
A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again.
Britannica.
Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some.
Use the atlas to compare the bite marks. Select element, drag object, change page, movement. Wait, I didn't grab the page, did I? Rip? Imagine. How the heck? Wait,
Well,
can I get out of here?
I wouldn't. What kind is this? Ah, salt water.
Oh, never mind. There it is. Hold.
Definitely not. The tooth line forms a V letter. Oh, I only need to concentrate on the crocodile chapter.
Read about the turtles.
Definitely not. The tooth line forms a V letter. I would be concerned if it was this crocodile.
Concerned.
The shape of the jaw appears correct, but not the teeth. That's not it.
Wait, what?
It makes sense.
What's happening?
This would also explain the molt found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation. It's not these animals we should be afraid of here. I should make some notes and start the autopsy.
Perform the autopsy. Magnifier.
And look for other traces. It doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut. Several stab wounds of varying depth and circumference. Mississippi alligator. It's strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark.
I like how the game loop is like not necessarily the same thing each time.
There was
Some of it's similar, but not all of it.
tearing at its body, eaten skin, soft tissues, and genitals. There are even some teeth marks, but well, it doesn't look like an alligator. The bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it.
Penis cast.
The imprints are quite deep and even. From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt.
It's the beginning of Alan Wake 2.
Looks like an uneven bite. It's worth taking a closer look at this. Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks. Evan's right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects. Very strong binding marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds.
One more mark. Marky mark. Supposedly. Where's it? Oh, there it is.
It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the neck. There's no end to playing zoologist today. I need a tool with dental impression cement. Can I find it here? No.
Search the lab for the
It's
silicone
probably
dispensing
lying somewhere
gun.
around in the lab.
Back to the lab.
I hope the cement hasn't expired.
Cement. Cabinet? No. What was a box of nitrate glows? What?
A month after
Aha.
the due date. That could be worse.
Create a cast of the bite marks around the groin. We actually are doing that. Imagine. Groin check. So, silicone cast, bite mark, groin. I feel like we need more.
Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens.
Huh? Cumby. I don't think we're gonna make it through this day. That was easy.
Quite contaminated from the other wounds in that area. Well, let's hope the imprint turns out better. Brush, ink, and paper.
Brush, ink, paper. Noted.
Similar to taking fingerprints. Paint over the area. That's very strange. I'll run it through the fax and check it on the computer. I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing.
Approach the tray with the cast on it.
Similar to taking
Cast wasn't on. We're putting it on. Alrighty. Brush.
Paint over the area. And put a piece of paper on it.
Ta-da.
That's very strange. I'll run it through the fax and check it on the
It's like my bite mark, huh?
I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing.
How'd they get my bite mark in the game? Match the bite mark in the criminal database. Uh-oh. Hold up.
Loading.
Hold for what? New data has been detected. Upload.
What? Wow. This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen.
Stephen. But first, we must identify. Dragon what now? Dragon D's? Attempting to drag. Wait, what? Oh. That way.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Sausage.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Sussy. That's not right.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. Loading. It'll probably take a while.
Which one haven't we done here? This one? Oh. I didn't realize we were doing another one. Hold up.
Loading.
What kind of science do you do? Computer science.
Wow.
Filtering. Comp sci.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Huh.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. Loading.
Loading.
It'll probably take a while. Finally. Huh?
Turn to the autopsy. Wait a minute.
I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work. Can't do it. I need to calm down first.
Figure it out, man.
No. Everything is spinning. Pills. I have to take pills.
Quick acting pills, though. Done.
I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection. They look quite shallow. Someone must have inflicted these with some sort of primitive tool. This wound turned out to be more troublesome than I thought it would be. Maybe something chased that alligator away before it bit down properly? You can see that the tool used was sharp and smooth. So, what if it was in the hands of an unskilled person?
Nothing to say on that one.
Torn tissue, lacerations, bite wounds.
Highlight and consider each wound from marks and wound sections.
I need to verify how deep these wounds go. If they punctured the organs, hemorrhaging could have occurred. The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death.
Anka. No thanks.
Alligators rarely kill humans. For obvious reasons, I record decapitation as the cause of death. The perfect breeding ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now.
Putting down
Due to
clipboard.
the body fat of the deceased. Time for internal analysis. Finally. First of all, I'll try to determine whether death occurred before the decapitation, or if with the scalpel, I'll open the deceased's chest. We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin.
Fatty tissue.
When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more fat on the organs.
Loppers. There we go.
Correct. High levels of internal fat, organ size above average due to obesity. I move on to the lung analysis. The deceased smoked cigarettes, but more important. And this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been caused by hitting the chest with a blunt object, or a puncture directly affecting the organ. They appear to be of different depths. The cross-section is uneven. Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia, and, as a result, obstructive shock.
Anything more to see on the lungs? Lung check? Lung?
I wonder what the heart looks like then. The organ is enlarged with very clear, light yellow traces, but similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out faster and more. In turn, a sudden increase in the amount of fluid in the pericardial cavity could lead to cardiac tamponade, which is also a life-threatening condition.
Shallow wound piercing the left atrium of the heart from below.
Evans, however, is remarkably clean, considering this turn of events. This all looks quite disturbing. I wonder if I'll find anything on the liver. The organ is fatty and enlarged.
Fatty liver.
Beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about. So, I proceed to carefully remove the stomach. Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged, not to mention swollen, partially due to gases, but mainly due to the deceased's lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. The outside is intact. I'm going to check the contents.
Sir? Here we go, maze time.
It sounds like there's an unusually large amount of undigested, and now rotten stomach contents inside. Blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries.
They're Tin Men.
Which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest.
Returning. Freaking out.
Only the trachea left to be examined. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation.
No wedding rings?
I move on to cutting it open. Okay. I carefully cut, and... blood. Just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also choked on it. Looks like I can wrap this up.
They're open and shut case.
Together. After he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals.
Okay, note the main cause of death. Suffocation with blood. I don't know how to say the second one. The second one?
Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death,
Oh,
it was the
decapitation.
decapitation that ended Evan's life. The animal bites on the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking in bloody convulsions. But it didn't last too long, which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack, but in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered.
Murdered? Homicide, we're marking it. Signature.
Ah, well. I need to stitch this poor guy back up.
My favorite part. Get the needle.
It's really bothering me. Something's not right here.
Never mind. Too early.
Because
Premature.
even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also. It's like... someone pumped it out?
Humpers.
Christ. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Dirty.
I'll leave these questions for the police to solve. And now, I get to head home.
Done.
It's a fucked up thing.
Head to your
I'll hold
car.
off taking long walks in the forest for the near future. I have a feeling that it won't end with just one body. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The body's ready to be picked up.
Sure. Good night.
Prince Humperdinck. Any new news here on the desk? That was my ass bumping the door. Nothing to see here.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home and... What? I can't believe what I'm seeing.
I must have missed it.
Oh, come on. Fuck.
Oh,
What did I
flat
get
tire.
a flat tire? What the fuck? Oh, come on. This is impossible. What's this supposed to mean? Where's this happening? Someone is messing with me again. Fuck.
Oops.
I'm going to Ridley's.
Saving.
Maybe he saw something.
Go talk to Ridley. Why'd the game save? Doesn't take the bad news well. He's been through a lot, I guess.
Do you know what happened to my
but not
car?
true.
What happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat.
Well, it happens. Did you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Handman, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here? Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Handman, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence. What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week, and now this?
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
Cool town.
Go out and get in a taxi. Will do.
I just want to sleep.
James Evans Jr. complete chapter 3. That was weird to have a save right there. Chapter 4. Chapter 4.
It would be easier just to move in and live here. I doubt I'll get reimbursed for the cab.
Well, I think we're going to continue this journey tomorrow or
Huh?
soon again. So we've got a checkpoint. Game auto saves. Hold. Gotta be a raccoon, sure.
Hello?
How are we looking with the Chivis? I'm gonna look now. 18 of 24 earned. So we're starting what, chapter 4. Bloodsucker, pump blood out of the abdominal cavity. Complete chapter 5. Wait here, look. Complete chapter 4. Okay, so it seems like there's 5 chapters total. It seems like maybe, based on the achievements. We're on chapter 4. I'm playing for about 4 hours. You know where I'm going to go, chat? Crazy. 'Cause I'm going to bounce over to that other game in my last remaining minutes here on stream. Surely. Escape. Main menu. Are you sure you want to leave and go to the main menu? Anything and save progress will be lost. Not to get back to work. Yes, take me out of here. Load, continue. I'm enjoying this. I mean, I can't complain too. Thank you to the devs again for the key. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. I'm not sure if I'm expecting it to stick a landing for an ending, but I'm curious. Break.